Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are down here with Lagoon Marine to have a look at this Fairline Targa 38 Sapphire of Windsor. Now this is a 2011 boat. It's one of the later generations of the Fairline Targa range. We'll have a quick wander up here. I do apologise for the wind. Have a look at this lovely foredeck. But principally on a cold day like today, let's go and have a look inside. So obviously the 38 is bigger than the 37, and that's predominantly because of the bathing platform. As you can see, this one is covered in I suspect looks like teak. Swim ladder in there, so basically that drops into the water so you can climb out of the sea back onto the bathing platform. Nice little grab handle here. There's a locker here, so I just step aboard, open this locker here. You can see somewhere to store a deflated dinghy, or it could be fenders or lines or anything you fancy. And you can also, if you choose to, store your dinghy on here. So these poles here are designed for chocks to put your dinghy on. But you can see it's a decent sized bathing platform, really decent. Mood lighting, which is really sweet. Shore power, cleats top and bottom, and you can also see the start of the deck runs around on both sides. Nice grab handles on the side and the top. Up on the radar arch, omnidirectional TV aerial, Garmin closed array radar. It's like a rear facing spotlight, which is pretty neat when you're coming in at night. VHF radio, and that funny grey brown tube there is a radar reflector. So I just take a step back off. So there she is. As you can see, decent cockpit. So let's go and have a look on board. Actually, just before we go on board, as you would expect, swim shower in there. And this is quite neat as well. If I unhook this, so this lifts up like so, and the stern door drops in like that. How neat is that? Now obviously by the time they built this in 2011, they'd built quite a few Targas, so this is really using all the previous experience to build a much better boat. So again, on this variant we have teak cockpit all the way through. Down here is a self-draining locker, which in this instance has got a life raft on, which is really great, so you can grab it, throw it over the side if you need it. Stepped access up to the side deck. In fact, let's go and have a look around the side deck first. Unzip that, throw that out. Don't know how well you can see in this video, but down here there's mood lighting, as there is right the way across the entire inside and outside space of the boat. We looked earlier, lovely grab handle up here, and then you get a better look at that radar tower with that wind indicator, and that little dome here I suspect is the GPS for the navigator. Not the widest side decks in the world, but they do a pretty good job. Nice grab rail. And what's quite clever as well is the windscreen mullion becomes a grab handle as you come round. Midships cleat down here. Massive space, which I'm imagining you could quite easily put in sun cushions. This boat might have them, I don't know. Illumination for the fore cabin, or for the saloon I suspect down there. Fore cabin hatch here. Cleats, Fairlines, anchor locker down here. Pretty standard layout with a winch and lots of anchor chain down in there. Stainless anchor handler and a delta anchor there. So just turn around and have a quick look back. So there you go, lots of fun party space. A couple of cup holders, really nice one-piece windscreen, decent wipers, and really good cover. And you'll notice here that you can actually zip out these two sections here of the front windscreen, or windscreen canvas, leave the bimini in, leave the sides in, and just give yourself slightly better visibility as you're going along, which is always quite nice, particularly if it's a little bit lumpy. It's good to see the waves that are coming before you hit them. So again, back to this really neat grab handle here. We shall drop back inside like so. It is a bit breezy, so I'm just gonna zip that back up for a sec. So now we're back inside. We've looked at the locker there. We have a sort of outside cockpit galley entertaining space here. First cupboard gives you the manual pumps down there, engine bay and forward space, fire switch or pull cord for the Seafire engine fire system, and 240 power socket in there. Lift up this nice teak work surface, and underneath here we have a grill, nice bit of marble inserting, and a good old-fashioned sink, as you would expect. Pop that out of the way, really nice teak worktop, and then down here is the gas bottle in there for the grill, and there's an additional little locker in here just for odds and sods. And again, you'll notice lighting all the way around. Massive Clarion bass speaker there. On the port side, really decent entertaining space. Big sweep of seating all the way around. You'll notice there's a window down there because, quite cleverly, like a lot of these boats of this design, all of this raised seating area, including this one at the front here, is designed to give additional space down below. Decent sized table, again in really nice teak, really good quality. That folds back to do one of two things, either to give you a half table like so, or what's really clever with this table, if I can get this right, is I think you take this cushion out here. This, I'm going to try it with one hand, lifts up like so, and then the table effectively, if I can do this one-handed, bear with me. Oh. Folds back into that space there. Cushion goes back. I apologise, that was rather badly done, but you get the idea. So you're not having to store that table anywhere. It sits on that clever cantilever system there. So that then gives you loads of space without the table in the way. And as you can see down here, we've then got fuel diverter and shut-off system for the fuel cops. Bit of additional storage space there for life raft or whatever. And then under this seat here, there's a massive locker for all your ropes and the like, dinghy accessories, bits and pieces, whatever you fancy, fits in there. And right the way under the main floor, so this entire section here gives us access to the engine bay, which we'll have a look at on the way out. So one relatively minor step up, again predominantly designed to give you space below, takes you to the forward navigator section, and just a great place to sit when you're going along with friends and family. A little bit of storage over there and some cup holders. If I take a step back and stand up here, gives you an idea of the size and the scale of that area. Entertaining space, and you imagine all of the canopies zipped out, let's say bimini on or off depending on your choice of the day. Take the side panels out, forward panels out up here, and you've got a vast entertaining space on a pretty beamy boat really. So starboard side is the helm station, single helm seat with the usual pop-up bolster. I think which is quite neat is this little fold down step here, again teak on it or synthetic teak, I'll have to confirm either way. Stand up on that, and then effectively you can pop your head through the top of the canvas here and look out over the top of the window. Fold that back up so don't forget. So from a dashboard perspective, obviously steering wheel, Garmin navigator, which I guess will also work the radar. There's a secondary control there, usual array of calming switches, engine gauges over here, more switches. This I love. This is an anchor winch or anchor chain counter, because obviously when you're here it's very hard to tell how much anchor chain is going out. That counts the chain out for you. Volvo Penta EBC controls. It's an unusual one. This is the bow thruster, trim tabs, cup holder, VHF speaker, EBC engine controls, usual sort of setup you'd expect here. I think which is quite nice, proper chart table, so you can lay a chart out if you want to, and then underneath that there is some additional storage, little night light, and then over here you have fuel gauge, battery voltage, and battery voltage fuel gauge and little binnacle compass there. And you'll also notice that black area there is actually a window. It's a sealed window, but it throws light down into the saloon of the boat. So there you go. That is the helm station. Large, very large perspex door slides across, and the thing I love about this door is you don't hit your head as you go down. So many of them, the door stops early and the superstructure carries on, so as you're climbing down the stairs, it's really hard to not catch your head as you go down. There is one other storage area here actually before I forget. So there you go, again, massive storage locker for charts, odds and sods, whatever you fancy. So let's go have a look down below. So really deep steps in, which is great because that gives you loads and loads of volume inside the boat. As you can see, dinette on the starboard side, sorry, dinette on the port side, and then galley over here on the starboard side. Let's go and have a look down below. Lovely solid wood steps as you go in. So take it back, a step back over here. So there you go, there's our steps down. The door to the aft cabin, and then over this side is the galley. Fairly conventional fridge with a nice bit of bamboo wood worktop here. Corian covers the rest of the galley area, stainless sink with mixer tap. Do excuse the dehumidifier that's doing its job taking the damp out of the air. Double burner gas hob, usual as you would expect, cutlery drawer under the cooker, really decent quality there, double oven and grill and microwave as well, which is pretty clever. Good use of space, cupboards all over the place, offering loads and loads of storage. Nice hull band window, which is really neat. Then there's storage in all of these cupboards, pretty much as you would expect. Over here you can see comes with an Cummins Onan generator. Here is the panel for the power distribution. So there looks like to be two domestic DC circuits. Then there's AC circuit there with all the trips, and then your DC battery voltage and AC incoming current all set in there. Light switches over here. Oh, and while we're here, let's take a step back. There's that window that we looked at from the helm station. You can close it off with a blind if you want to. Pretty straightforward stuff. Over the far side we have that dinette again. And oh yes, I want to show you this, it's quite neat. So obviously under here is access to the hull, but what they've done quite neatly is they've put a little liner in there. So if you want to gain access to the hull, very straightforward. You can lift that liner out. Go, finally got it in. Is access to the hull. And there's one of the sea cocks, probably for the loo, I guess. So there you go. So that is, let me just fold this down, which is easier said than done with one hand. There we go, fold that down. Whilst we're down here, you'll notice also the whole boat entire, so inside and in the cockpit area, has Webasto ducted warm air heating. Beautiful, well over-engineered, height adjustable table down here. And also you'll notice this table does, like a lot of them do, it folds away. You can slide that in just to give you a bit more access to the seats. And the nice thing about the seats, and this I suspect also will drop down to convert this into another bed, and it's quite neat because there's drawers. Which one is it? This one here. Drawer under here for all your crockery, just utilising a bit more space. And there is also, as you would expect, additional storage under this cushion, under that cushion over there. Another hull band window, again with a big array of storage in here. Oh, wrong way. Like so. And the same with that one. And then on this one here, as you can see, there's the Clarion head unit and the control unit for the Webasto warm air heating. 240-volt sockets dotted around the place, additional storage. TV over here on the bulkhead. Nice sturdy grab handle up here as well. And then forward, which is where we're going to go first, is to the master. So nice, big, decent size centre line double berth. Bit of storage underneath as well. And bit I thought was quite clever is the end of the bed lifts up on rams and gives you some additional storage under there as well. It's a decent sized bed. There is headroom as you come in the door. I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I can fit in here. I would guess there's possibly just on 6 foot. There's opening port lights over there, more storage down the side, little bin over there. There would be, if the blind wasn't shut, extra light streaming in through there, but obviously that's nice if you're sleeping in here, you could get all that daylight out of the way. Another whole window that side, more storage in here, like so. Oops, sorry. Storage under there, and then big, very, very decent full height hanging wardrobe with storage above. I'll close this door for a moment. You can see the whole Jack and Jill effect again. So this is what we call a Jack and Jill jaw. So that takes you into the heads from the master cabin, but you can also gain access to the same heads from the saloon. So let's do that. I'll have to go out first. So if I get out of here, it takes you into the heads or bathroom, call it what you like. That's the door into the master cabin. Really nice fit and finish in here. So to start with, what looks to be a walnut effect floor. This lifts up to give you the ability to use a loo. Nice porcelain sink. Lots of storage all the way across here. Opening port light just to let the steam and the mist out. Just drop that back down. So it's an electric flush loo. And then there's one of those fairly standard but very, very effective rolling shower screen. So this whole screen rolls round like so, and then gives you the ability to pop yourself in the shower, have a decent shower without spraying water everywhere, and then that obviously then drains out of the floor here into a pump out over the side. But it's a nice shower setup. There you go. So that is the heads. I also meant to show you as well while we're here that there is a bin under the step. Always useful to have a bin, bit of extra storage in there, and then there's another drawer storage unit, call it what you like, right at the bottom of the steps there. So that nicely leads us into the aft cabin, which again is incredible space. So remember when we were outside and we looked at all of this raised seating here externally? That's what then gives us this incredible aft cabin. Really is quite impressive. So decent floor space as you go in. First thing that greets you is a little vanity unit. Mirror up there, as you'd expect, with some additional storage. A couple of nice decent sized hull windows. Big sideboard full of storage. Like so. A couple of additional storage units over there, and then a big hanging locker here. Again, notice down the bottom there, it's a heat vent for the Webasto warm air heating. And underneath here we have, currently set up as 2 single berths. I would be extremely confident that they scissor together. So this one, you unclip it here, try it, like, there you go, like so, and then that slides across and gives you a single bed with a bit of side access. You can't see it because the blinds are down, but right at the far end over there, there's another couple of windows and a raised section to give you a bit more headroom, and obviously you've got the light switches on both sides so you can control that. And when we were outside in the cockpit, remember we saw that little window that just gives you another point of ventilation. So you've got 2 windows over there, 1 window over there, 2 windows over there, so you get a lot of fresh air in through here. Not quite standing headroom, but very easy to move yourself around, gain access to the bed. So there you go, that is the aft cockpit. So you could sleep 6, you could very, very comfortably sleep 4 with minimal effort. So that is the inside. Let us go and have a look at the engines. So I just need to sort out this little seat cushion here, and I'll meet you once the engine covers are up. So here we go, engine cover up, First thing that greets you when you look down here is the Onan generator, and then on both sides over there you can see fuel tank number 1, and then also at the top there fuel filter for the generator, I guess, and then water separators for the main engines, and exactly the same over this side, fuel tank, water fuel separator, and then down at the back here, tucked neatly away, minding their own business, a couple of Volvo Penta D4 300s. And the black covers you can see on the front, so these things here are because obviously this will be the front of the engines, and it just means you can move around in there without getting in the way or getting your fingers or your clothing caught in those belts as they're spinning around. Right the way over the back there you can see that green sausage, mini sausage, is the hot water tank, and then there's a few other bits and pieces. Probably right down there is the echo sounder and the seacock. A little bit of storage over the side there, big engine fan out the back, and that big red thing between the engines is the automatic engine bay fire system. I'll put the performance figures down in here. I haven't got them to hand unfortunately, but I would imagine a couple of D4 300s of 600 horsepower should give it a fairly good turn of speed. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed the tour. Do please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.